right now on 5 on your side at 10.
An unthinkable crime. A young boy grabbed and sexually assaulted just feet from his home.
It's chilling to the bone.
Tonight, a suspect in custody. The neighborhood effort that helped lead to an arrest. Hot times, summer in the city. Tonight, the efforts to keep all St. Louisans cool during an excessive heat warning.
And that excessive heat warning continues at least through tomorrow evening as another day of triple-digit temperatures is on the way.
Tonight, thousands of Cardinals and City SC fans packed downtown. The hot sun may have gone down, but they still dealt with temperatures in the 90s and high humidity. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush, and Allred has the night off. We officially hit triple-digit temperatures today, and we still have several days of dangerous heat ahead. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell still has us in a weather alert tonight. Scott?
You know, we still have temperatures in the 90s in spots this evening, including around the St. Louis area, and it feels like it's still close to 100 degrees. Here it is, 10 o'clock at night, and we're looking at those temperatures that warm. Right now in St. Louis, it's 92. Feeling like 99. That's the latest update from Lambert. That dew point at 72. That is very thick humidity for the St. Louis area. There's no break coming overnight tonight. Our temperatures will be lucky if we drop back below 84, 85 in the city. Outlying areas just down into the 70s tonight, which means with more sunshine tomorrow, a pretty quick warm up on the way. This dangerous heat will continue. Another warm night ahead. We don't get a chance for our bodies to cool off when the temperatures just don't drop off during the nighttime hours. Your Friday afternoon heat index values, 104 to 115 again. There is some relief expected, especially by Sunday, but Saturday is still going to be a pretty steamy day across the bi-state area as we're anticipating Saturday's temperatures again well into the 90s for highs. Your afternoon heat index values tomorrow, you know, once we hit 10:30, 11 o'clock, we're above feeling like 100 in St. Louis and could be as high as 115, especially along the Mississippi River from the metro area going into Illinois. We'll talk more about that break and if there's a rain chance with it in a few minutes, Mike.
And Scott, the games at Busch Stadium and City Park tonight were just two of several outdoor events going on as planned this evening, despite these sweltering conditions. Our Laura Barczewski is live downtown with the extra measures being taken to keep people safe from the excessive heat. Laura.
Mike, here at City Park, the fire department actually helped people cool off before they headed into the St. Louis City SC game. And all over town, water has been the key to keep people and animals cool.
The heat is affecting just about everyone in St. Louis. The St. Louis Fire Department opened up a hose outside City Park for soccer fans headed to the match. Across town, we caught up with some people braving the heat at the St. Louis Zoo.
Well, as you can see, I didn't do so well. Hot and sweaty, but cold water, hat, shade.
Which is exactly what is prescribed for the animal keepers, too.
We make sure that they're hydrated. You know, they have access to water. We make sure that they kind of slow down in the heat, hot part of the day. Make sure that they're wearing cool clothing. Many of them are also working inside.
And even the animals themselves.
We make sure they have cool pools. We may give them ice blocks to have fun with and cool off. Many of them also have shade, or we had additional shade structures for those areas. And then many of them also have access to inside holding under these extremely hot days.
Animals at the zoo either stuck to the shade or hung out in their pools. Spectators at the zoo also found some shade, or at least filled up at water stations.
Don't overexert yourself. If you are having, you know, a little bit of heat stress, or you feel heat stress, we do have medics on zoo grounds.
And they're not the only ones affected. It's a difficult time for those living on the streets or without a home.
People without homes suffer from health conditions that often make them even more vulnerable to the heat. So if you have a chronic health condition or substance use disorder that makes it difficult for you to regulate your body temperature.
Cooling centers like the St. Patrick's Center have been a helpful resource for many, and in extremely hot temps, it's a good idea to check on your neighbors, even the ones without homes.
If it looks like they're having a heat-related injury, call 911 and don't leave until the ambulance gets there, right? Make sure that they get care.
Remember to drink lots of water over the next few days and take it slow during the heat. We have links to cooling centers on KSDK.com in the As Seen on TV section. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And we've made it easy to find resources to stay cool and safe during this heat alert. All you have to do is text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. New tonight, a multi-million-dollar settlement for the parents of a 6-year-old boy who drowned at a summer camp. The parents of TJ Mister confirmed with 5 on your side they've settled their wrongful death lawsuit against St. Louis County for $8 million. A police report revealed there was only one lifeguard on duty at the time, and a camp counselor ignored the warnings of 2 other children who saw TJ struggling in the water. As part of the settlement, the county will also name a playground at Susan Park in TJ's honor. That's near the Kennedy Recreation Complex where he drowned last summer. TJ's mother released a statement tonight. It reads, "We appreciate the gesture of honoring TJ that shows he mattered and will be remembered on a playground where kids will run around in laughter and joy the way we remember TJ. It doesn't bring my TJ back, so I feel like we still lost." Tonight, the man accused of grabbing a little boy off his bike and sexually assaulting him in South St. Louis is behind bars. New tonight, our Robert Townsend reports how the public's help at a new crime-fighting camera system in the St. Louis Hills neighborhood led to the quick arrest.
Finding the man in these surveillance photos was a top priority for St. Louis police for 4 days. He was wanted for allegedly snatching a 6-year-old boy with high-functioning special needs off his bike Sunday night, luring the child inside a vacant house and sexually assaulting him.
It's chilling to the bone.
Utilizing every resource that we have to kind of get boots on the ground in that area and try to do whatever we can to get the information that we need to ultimately find this individual.
Moments after we interviewed the police sergeant Thursday, the break detectives desperately wanted. Police arrested the 34-year-old man they believe is responsible for the attack. Investigators say more than 100 tips from the public helped detectives catch the suspect.
That's fantastic news. It's, of course, what the neighborhood and everybody was hoping for.
Tom Scheifler is the chairperson of the St. Louis Hills Neighborhood Association's Safety Committee. Scheifler is convinced a new security initiative he started in this South City neighborhood 4 months ago also helped police track the man. We are blurring the suspect's face because he hasn't been charged at this time.
It has to have narrowed down who it was and how they were moving about in the neighborhood.
St. Louis Hills Security Initiative allows homeowners to buy a security camera for $200 mounted on their house, and then the small camera records everything that moves around their property. The cameras are rolling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If the cameras catch a crook in action, alerts are automatically sent to a central system.
As our private duty officers have said, it gives them actionable intelligence. So instead of just randomly patrolling, which they do, they are also reviewing the alerts from cameras throughout the neighborhood.
Scheifler says without a doubt their new camera system is paying off and helping police nab criminals in this St. Louis neighborhood. He now hopes the crime-catching cameras spread to other neighborhoods.
It's a traditional neighborhood watch.
Now with a cool, high-tech camera twist. Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Prosecutors are expected to file charges tomorrow, and for more information about St. Louis Hills Security Initiative, just go to KSDK.com and look for this story under As Seen on TV. Terrifying video tonight from Lee May. A homeowner shared this video of 2 young men pulling out guns and opening fire in the middle of the street. This happened in the middle of the day this week on Dammert Avenue. No one was hurt. Tonight, St. Louis County Police are still looking for those 2 gunmen. Tonight, St. Louis City Police are looking for the man who robbed a couple at gunpoint in the Mangrove Business District. It happened just before midnight in a city-owned parking lot near the Gramophone. The victims told police the armed man was wearing a Halloween mask. The robber ran off with a purse and jewelry. The couple was not physically hurt. Tonight, hope for people impacted by nuclear contamination dumped in the St. Louis area. Today, the U.S. Senate advanced Senator Josh Hawley's legislation to extend federal help to people who've been sickened by exposure to waste from the Manhattan Project. Hawley calls it a big win, saying he took advantage of a brief window to add the amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act.
I don't think anybody thought, it's senators, I mean, they thought, oh, Josh, that's just never going to pass. But you know what? When you learn the facts about what happened, it becomes awfully hard to vote no.
The Senate will now have to work with the House on a compromise to the National Defense Authorization Act. If passed, people who are eligible would be compensated for their medical expenses or receive a one-time payment of $50,000. Tonight, a well-known St. Louis doctor who owns several urgent care clinics faces federal charges of health care fraud. Dr. Sonny Sager and his office manager were indicted on several charges today. Both pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors say they conspired to make false statements to Medicare and Medicaid by billing for Dr. Sager's services when he was out of town. Investigators say those services were actually performed by several assistant physicians who were supposed to be supervised. Tonight, 2 juveniles are in custody accused of causing extensive damage to a sports complex with fireworks. This happened at the Northwest Jefferson County Sports Complex in House Springs back on July 4th. The park had to be closed and games had to be canceled as a result. Officials estimated that the damage to the restrooms will cost $150,000 to repair.
Tonight, we're searching for solutions in Kansas City.
There was nothing after 5 o'clock. There was nothing happening down here.
Crime and urban blight was a problem. Now downtown KC is a major draw in the Show Me State.
It's one of the best kept gyms and people are moving here and there's a lot of buzz.
The team's spirit and pride driving a renaissance in Kansas City.
There is a rain chance heading into the weekend, signaling a subtle change to our hot pattern. Why this rain chance looks rather limited, and if it will be enough to break this heat.
Tonight, we continue searching for solutions for St. Louis. Despite similar obstacles in combating crime, Kansas City is building off its recent success with sports and tourism to spur growth and pride. It's an intentional and collaborative approach, and as Brent Solomon explains, KC leaders are even utilizing everyday people to help pitch their city.
If you've ever been to downtown Kansas City, you're familiar with the big landmarks, the T-Mobile Arena and the Power and Light Entertainment District. What immediately caught our eyes were the rise of mixed-use developments, apartment buildings and businesses, a few high-rise buildings, and construction signifying more growth on the horizon.
There's a lot of developments, there's a lot of building.
27-year-old Jalil Smith enjoys living downtown.
Because I work 3 blocks from there.
So it's convenient.
Very convenient. I mean, there's concerts, there's comedians, there's shows, live music at the T-Mobile Center.
Do you ever feel unsafe living here?
No. Not at all.
He says crime isn't as prevalent downtown as it is in other parts of the city.
We have the yellow jackets, the guys that are out. You might see them day and night cleaning sidewalks. They're also security for us. And they're 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
The city's downtown council put safety ambassadors to work with the goal of keeping this area clean, safe, and attractive. The downtown KC you see now is a result of a $10 billion transformation over the last 15 years or so, paid by investors, businesses, and city government. Before that,
blighted a little bit. My mom worked at the Western Auto Building, which is now apartments, and my dad worked up at the airport. We would come down to pick up my mom from work, and he would always say, stay in the car, don't get out of the car. And there was nothing after 5 o'clock. There was nothing happening down here.
Not anymore.
Leaders here tell me sometimes solutions come from having a strategy, like making downtown a magnet, not just for sporting events. We're here on a Thursday evening.
Transportation helps. City buses are free. And so are these streetcars, taking you from one part of the city to another. Right now, even more routes are being added.
Let's show you some Midwest hospitality.
And then there's this, the Visitor Influencer Program. Visit KC offers routine training for those who work in the hospitality industry, teaching them how to sell the city when they interact with tourists every day.
All of you are going to get this cool shirt that says I speak fluent Kansas City.
Knowing this information kind of gives that little bit extra oomph to everybody's experience coming to Kansas City.
I think it helps us redefine what people may think about Kansas City.
I caught up with Mayor Quentin Lucas at the site of the brand new KC Current Soccer Stadium, now under construction. He touts it as the only women-specific soccer stadium in the world.
But what had to change to get that mindset of revitalization and growth?
You know, I think everybody needed to realize that it was, first of all, possible to walk and chew gum. It's really getting people to believe that while this is a great place to be from, we don't want that to be the description when we're going around the country and around the world. Instead, you want to be a place that people are saying, dang, I need to go back again and again and again.
It's a collective effort to keep people wanting to live in the city.
People say it's a gym. Like, it's a gym. You know, it's one of the best kept gyms, and people are moving here, and there's a lot of buzz.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
And Kansas City is the third destination we've traveled to searching for solutions. Our team also made trips to Detroit and Indianapolis to see how those cities are tackling problems similar to the ones we have here in St. Louis. If you'd like to see those stories, just text the word solutions to 314-425-5355. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the Weather First forecast. And Scott, everybody wondering when we're going to get a break from this heat.
It's coming. It really is. But, you know, it's the end of July in St. Louis. We still have August to get through. This is traditionally the hottest time of the year for us. And despite the heat, you're looking over at City Park tonight. You've got thousands of St. Louisans that are over at Busch Stadium. They're down here at City Park. They bet out to the Muni tonight. And everybody's doing the same thing, all staying hydrated. They even have hydration breaks on the pitch there playing soccer this evening. Still 88 out in Wildwood, 89 in Afton. It has dropped off to 83 in Arnold, 84 in Troy, as well as 84 in Alton right now. But for many of us, especially once you get around the all the big brick buildings in town, you can really just feel that heat radiating off the buildings. 83 degrees is the current temperature out in Chesterfield with a heat index of 91. That heat index at Sparta right now is 98. Same thing over in Salem, Illinois. The humidity is still pretty thick across the bi-state region. That's not really going down tomorrow. Temperatures again should top out a little above 100 for most of us, or right around it. So the excessive heat warning along the Mississippi River into Illinois. You have that corn sweat showing up. All the transpiration from the soybean and the cornfields really showing up as we go into the afternoon hours. You literally can feel it. And that's what's driving these heat index values, especially once you get away from town into that 110 to 115 degree range. So we're all still spending some time in air conditioning as much as possible, checking on our seniors, drinking plenty of water, staying hydrated, and just flat out not overdoing it outside. Saturday, you notice the heat index values, they drop off a little bit. By Sunday, we're more in line with the actual temperatures. Of course, we've been mentioning CoolDownSt.Louis.org. That's where you can go to make an easy online donation. They have been out partnering with many agencies over 44 counties in Missouri and Illinois, both sides of the river, rural and urban areas. Not much happening really across our region tonight other than we're baking. We have this weather system to the north. Eventually, we're going to get that energy to slide and drop in here. As it does so, as we work our way on into Saturday, we will see the clouds increase. So that increase in cloud cover comes later Friday night. It'll take us into Saturday morning early. There could be a stray shower or thunderstorm. More likely, we would see some scattered showers and storms develop during the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday. That would then transition us to some slightly cooler temperatures on Sunday and Monday in the lower 90s or around 90 and feeling like it's in the lower 90s, in that ballpark. There is another chance Monday and Tuesday for yet another disturbance to roll in, but our temperatures are in the low 90s. We'll bump it up again towards the middle of next week. By the end of next week, we get back to a more seasonable pattern, which means the typical heat with highs around 90 or so.
Still hot, but not this hot.
Yes.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, Corey is in for Frank, and he's next with sports.
We may all be focused on the trade deadline, but the Cardinals and Cubs created some new drama at Busch Stadium tonight. We're also looking back at some historic deadline deals and checking in with City SC at a rocking City Park next in sports.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
I think it's pretty safe to say that tickets at City Park are much hotter than those at Busch Stadium this summer. One team is getting ready to sell off, and the other is continuing to lead their conference. No MLS match tonight, but with Club America in town, City Park really was the hottest place to be in St. Louis. League's Cup Game 2, City needs to win to stay alive. Fans showed up big time for both teams. That's a tifo. It's impressive. Look at that thing. Club America is one of the most popular teams in all of Mexico, and they're pretty good too. Just 4 minutes in, they strike on City. Henry Martin converts past Roman Berkey. The large contingent of away fans are loving it. Right now, Club America leads 2-0 just on the other side of the half. We are expecting some fireworks ahead of the trade deadline for the Cardinals. Tonight against the Cubs, we got some on-field fireworks that at least started things off interesting. Miles Michaelis on the mound, but he would not be for long. Third batter of the game is Ian Happ. His backswing connects with his former teammate, Wilson Contreras, behind home plate. Contreras is bleeding. He has to exit the game. He is okay. The next pitch was tight, and then the pitch after that plunks Happ. Everybody seems to know what's going on here. Happ wears it, jogs to first, but instead of a warning, the umps throw Michaelis out of the game. He's the first Cardinals starting pitcher to get thrown out in the first inning since 1907. Cards and Cubs jaw some more. Ollie got thrown out too, and the Cubs crushed from there. Not much to say about this one. They scored 10. Andrew Kisner did hit 2 bombs in catching relief. Love to see that for him. And everybody is still talking about that first inning in a 10-3 loss.
If the explanation was that there was intent behind the first pitch, then I feel like there should have been a warning after the first pitch, and it could have saved everybody a lot of trouble.
I threw inside to a lot of guys. I threw it inside and it hit him, and, there was no warning, and, the umpires couldn't believe whatever they want to believe. They had a meeting, and, that was their choice.
The Cardinals team you saw tonight may be a bit different than the one you'll see after Tuesday's trade deadline. As we sift through the rumors and hearsay about nearly everybody on the roster, one thing is clear. This is a pivotal few days for the future of the club, and the people calling the shots know it.
And I think the front office and the organization as a whole is feeling the pressure to nail this trade deadline. They're not going to address all of their problems by the deadline, of course. They will have to spend a lot of heavy lifting in the offseason, but this trade deadline is more or less the foundation to those moves. And I think just based on how some of those past moves have worked out, most feeling the heat here.
The trade deadline has produced a number of notable deals over the years. We're taking a look back at some of the biggest over the next few days, starting with a World Series championship Kickstarter in 2011.
Colby again. He is 4 for 4. Down into the corner it goes. One run is.
Colby Rasmus was a former first-round draft choice who didn't see eye to eye with Tony La Russa. So on this date in 2011, Rasmus was sent to Toronto in an 8-player deal. In return, the Cardinals got pitchers Mark Zebchinski, Octavio Dotel, Edwin Jackson, and outfielder Corey Patterson. Not a star in the bunch, but all 4 were factors as the Cardinals went on to win the World Series. Speaking of trades, the Blues dealt this man, Vladimir Tarasenko, to the Rangers last season. Now he's on to a new team for this season. Tarasenko signed just a 1-year deal with the Ottawa Senators worth $5 million earlier today. Here's a golf shot I think you may have tried before. I know it didn't end up like this, though. Nick Hardy, an Illini golf alum, is stuck behind a tree at the 3M Open. He goes for the green anyways, hits the tree, breaks his club, but pulls off an incredible shot. Look where that ends up. He converted for birdie. Hardy is tied for 6th after 1 round. I have definitely never done that before. I've tried that shot. I haven't broken my club, thankfully, but I've never got it to land that close.
Yeah, I would have hit the tree. All right, Corey, thanks. The excessive heat might have you dreaming of pumpkin spice days of fall. Tonight, why the wait could be just days away. Layoffs tonight at AB InBev. The beverage giant announced it's cutting about 350 corporate jobs in an effort to simplify operations. No brewery, warehouse, or drivers are affected. The cuts come after sales of Bud Light have plummeted since a social media partnership with a transgender influencer. Eureka native Clayton Echard is getting back into reality television. The former Mizzou football standout and star of The Bachelor will host the competition Pickleball Paddle Battle. The show is set to debut this fall. No word on the network. Our network has not yet been named. Tonight, Starbucks' supposed fall menu has been leaked online. According to a well-known food blogger, the popular pumpkin spice lattes and other fall favorites will go on sale as soon as August 29th. Competitor Dunkin' Donuts traditionally releases its fall menu 2 weeks earlier. And Scott has a final check of this hot weather.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that fall weather, that's for sure. You're not going to get it the next couple of days. Temperatures back into the 90s, low 100s tomorrow, feeling like it's between 105 and 115 tomorrow afternoon. That will be your heat index. You got to take it slow. Drink lots of water here again for the next couple of days as we ease back to near normal temperatures by the end of next week. Excessive heat warning is in effect along and east of the Mississippi River, including St. Louis, through at least tomorrow evening. There is a chance that gets extended into Saturday as we're still well into the 90s for highs on Saturday. By Sunday and Monday, upper 80s to lower 90s across the area and slightly less humid, Mike.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.